The OSR, also known as the Old School Rennaisance and also known as the Old School Revival, depending on which grognard you're asking, is what we get when a community of incredibly passionate creators and lifelong role players alike took one look at the current state of the tabletop RPG industry and said,
"Fine. I'll do it myself."
That's right. The OSR isn't any one game or one system or marketing scheme. It's an enigma, it's a fugazi, it's a wazi, it's a woozy. And while at this point many associate the term OSR with a subgenre of TTRPGs, I'd argue it's really more of a philosophy, community, or even lifestyle than it is anything else. Are you following me, Timmy? Good, because it's only gonna get crazier from here. Okay, so what exactly makes an OSR system an OSR system? Well, that's a great question, Timmy, and truth be told, no one really knows. Just don't tell the grognards I let you in on that little secret. To put things in context, the general consensus is that anything D&D 3rd edition and beyond falls into the modern RPG bucket. So, AD&D 2nd edition and behind are what most folks in the OSR are going to gravitate towards and become inspired by. But of course, rather than simply continuing to play the same exact game of their beloved youths, many creators in the community have taken it upon themselves to rework and hack up older editions of classic D&D, oftentimes creating entirely unique games in the process. In fact, it's become a bit of an inside joke that once you get into the OSR scene, it's really only a matter of time before you end up making your own system and releasing it to the masses. And yeah, I know what you're thinking, Timmy. Paladin, wouldn't that just be homebrew? Well, basically yes, but also no. There are the retro clones, games that are, well, essentially homebrew rules of basic D&D. They all stick pretty close to the original system they aim to replicate, but they all do their own little thing to help them stand out, too. Some notable retro clones include Labyrinth Lord and Lamentations of the Flame Princess, basic D&D's edgy younger brothers who love their family but deep down think they're better than everybody else. And then there's Old School Essentials, the overachieving sibling that deserves all the honors they get, but also tends to take the spotlight away from everybody else. And then we have the Hacks family of retro clones. We've got Black Hack, White Hack, Black Sword Hack, and more. These guys are all more or less doing the same thing, but they're totally owning it, and each one has their own community of fans. Then you've got Basic Fantasy, which is basic fantasy, basically, and while they're super generous and everybody is happy to have them around, they struggle to stand out from the crowd. Then we've got our one-pager pamphlet games. There's Professor Dungeon Master's Deathbringer, Questing Beast Maze Rats, Cairn, and more. These guys heard that you can tell the world to roll a d20 and make the rest up as you go, and they ran with it. And of course, there's the cool new kids on the block. These guys are smashing Kickstarter records and have really put the OSR scene on the map. These are games like Mork, Borg, or Knave, or Shadowdark. They're all fantastic products in their own right, and they all stand out from the onslaught in their own special ways, either from that in-your-face attitude in graphic design or indispensable GM toolkits, or easy transitioning from 5e respectfully. And that isn't even scratching the surface of what this community truly has to offer. There are thousands, and I mean thousands, of insanely high quality blogs, podcasts, YouTube channels, Discord servers, newsletters, and zines. So many amazing zines for you to endlessly enjoy, and they're all produced through the blood, sweat, and tears of a hardcore, fiercely passionate community of creators just like you and I. And this is what the OSR is truly about. It's the punk rock, anti-establishment, DIY spirit that keeps this community going strong month after month and year after year, and what will, I believe, inevitably influence the entire direction of the industry for the better. And just like your local hardcore scene, it can be a bit abrasive. It can be a hard community to crack, but once you wiggle your way in there, you'll be met by some of the most talented, passionate, and genuinely kind people that you'll ever meet. For years, D&D has been my escape. It's been my creative outlet. It's brought me together with friends and inspired me to reach for new heights I never thought possible for myself. And truth be told, the OSR is directly behind that inspiration. Why? because the OSR is awesome. That's why. Okay, I'll see you on the other side of this dungeon, you freaking nerd. And until next time, venture forth. And please subscribe.